Morning students, welcome to your computer class. Students, today we will move further with our discussion and we were discussing about different features of Microsoft Access, and today we are going to discuss about working on a database. How will we work on a database? Before we do that, let's do a quick recap of what we have learned till now. So students, we learned about the database types. We learned about how to create a blank database, and we also learned about the parts of MS Access window, which was an important component. If you remember, the title bar, the quick access toolbar, right? So today we are going to move further with our discussion, and we are going to learn about ribbon. Now students, this ribbon you would have seen in Microsoft Office. No matter which application you go for, you would see this ribbon very common in all the Microsoft Office softwares. What is the reason behind it? Reason is very simple. This ribbon provides us with an option of small picture like icons along with the description. Now you can see, just in your view, you have close to more than 15 to 20 tools right now available right in front of you along with the picture, which tells you that which tool can do what. Suppose after reading it also, if you're not able to understand, you can still relate it by just looking at the icons or the picture. Now you can also see there are different groups being made here. So you can see there are view group, which has got all the buttons related to it. Paste, clipboard, sort and filter, all the sort and filters are there. Records, whatever is related to the records, fine. Similarly, the other groups. Now on the top, you can see there are few tabs also. What are those tabs? These are file, home, create, external data, database tools, and it extends further with fields and tables depending upon the clicks what we do. Now clicking on these tabs displays the associated set of commands, which means all the commands related to it is being grouped here. So students, ribbon is, since Microsoft Office 2007 has become the very important concept. Now if you remember Microsoft Office 2003, they had just the name mentioned to it. For example, you click on file, then there was another menu opening it, then open, then another menu opening it, and suppose by mistake if you just click outside the menu, everything used to collapse. So that was not a user friendly experience when compared to the 2007 onwards Microsoft Office. So 2007, 2010 and all the series which are coming after 2007 has this ribbon mentioned here. Now, so moving to the next slide, here we go. Next comes is the navigation pane. Now this is the, if you see, this navigation pane, it lies on the left hand side of the main window. Now this will have all the information about the objects which you have created. Now I have a question here. What are objects? So if you have answered it as tables, queries, forms and reports, then your answer is correct. In our earlier class we discussed about these four objects. Students, it is important for us to remember these four objects because it will help us when we are doing our practical classes. Now what does it do? This area will display the database objects along with the name which you have given to them, and when you open a database or when you create a database, you would see it keeps getting added here. So when we do our practical classes, when we are creating a form, when we are creating a report, when we are creating a table, this is the place you will have all the information related to this. Next come is the object tabs. Students, object tabs, you can see it's the orange boundary which I have made here. If you look at this, it relates to somewhere where the Microsoft Excel worksheets, right? In a workbook, there were sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Somehow related to that, this is how it looked like. But the only difference is that Microsoft Excel had this sheet option below the screen, and this Microsoft Access has above the main window. Just below the ribbon you will find this option which has different names in it. Like if you create a table, it will by default give a name of table 1. If you create a query, by default it will give a name of query 1, and if you create a form, by default it will give the name of form 1. Now whatever you create here, you can find it. So whenever you want to switch between the tables and the different tabs, you can just click it and move from one object to another object. Now one more thing, there is a small cross button here which you see on the right hand side of the bar. So this will close the program which you have opened. Just in case if you want to close it, you can go ahead and close this program. Next comes is the navigation pane. Now navigation buttons. Now navigation buttons is located at the bottom right hand side. You can see with the orange boundary it's mentioned here. You can see the buttons which has got records. Now how many records you have, it shows the totals. For example, I have 6 records. It will show the number 6, and it will also tell me in which record I am in. For example, if I am at record 2, it will tell me 2 of 4, and if I am at 4, the last one for example, then it will show me the last number there. Next to it you can also see the buttons with which you can move from one record to another or go to the end of the record by one click. So this navigation helps us to move within the reports or within the document we have created. Next comes the status bar. Whenever you are working on it, whenever you are doing something, this option will tell us what if there is any problem with the program or file which we are working on. If there is a program error, it will show up as an error. Now let's look into the definition of this. Now this bar is located at the bottom of the window on its left hand side. It displays the name of the current view, and on its right it displays the view button, which is datasheet view, design view, pivot table and pivot chart view. So there are different views which are mentioned here. You can go ahead and check it, and we can also find it that which view we are in. So if we are in datasheet view, it will tell us that we are in datasheet view. If we are in design view, it will tell us if it's in design view. And sometimes at times you would also find, if you are working on it and there is some error, it will also tell us the error as to what is the problem here. So this view helps us to understand what we are doing and whether it is whatever we are doing is correct or not. Now next come is creating a table using a template. Now earlier, if you remember, we were learning about creating a blank database where we were starting from the scratch. Here we will be using the ready-made templates to create a file. Now how can we do that? The first step is we will click on the file tab which is on the top in the menu bar. Next we will click on the new option. Then we will select the sample template category. The moment you click on it, you will find a variety of templates getting displayed there. Now there are few options also here where you will find an option where you can download more templates online. Suppose you don't want these templates, you want more templates, you can click on it, download it online, and you can also use it also. But Access give you some basic standard templates also which you can use it by default. Next, the list of available templates will be there. Select any template whichever you want, and once you select it, in the task pane it will appear on the right hand side. Specify the file name in the name box. You will have to specify whatever the file name you want to give it, and click on create button. This is how you will create a table using a template. Now Access will create the table, and it will open by default always in form view. Now this will contain the field which are related to the students list. So Students, this brings us to the end of the class today. For homework, we will be doing answer the following question 4 and question 5, which is define the term tables and what do you mean by the term query. So these are the two things we will be doing for homework. And just in case if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can reach me through the comment section. So thank you students, and stay healthy, stay home and stay healthy.